Previously on Chapter 1.
If you study from the very first minute you watch us today, we were all talking about evidence, research, scientists' involvement in this phenomena. Because we have already mentioned a lot of things in the past which you cannot touch, you cannot actually quantify. But in today's episode, through the rabbit hole, we're actually seeing this approach where a lot of scientists are throwing away their badge of credibility, whatever you want to call it, and going in because they know there is something there for them to study. So this is basically how science should be done.
Before we begin the show, here is an important announcement. For 100 years, Shure has set the standard for professional audio. Designed to outlast and outperform, Shure products help you deliver your message with confidence. Trust in Shure. You can be sure with Shure. Shop the Shure Shop Singapore now. Visit the link on screen and use the promo code AFC Henson to get limited Shure merchandise with your purchases. Now, let's start the show.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chris Hansen Conversation for UFO Review Asia. Bong and I, we're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. It's been a week, we never changed.
We haven't changed. We dirty fellas are.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh man, talk about being in the rabbit hole. We stayed in the rabbit hole for 1 week.
Yeah, man. Shit, I ate my own shit, man.
Oh,
and I drank my own pee.
Oh,
God damn it. Whew, I feel like a rabbit now, man.
Oh, God. I don't believe you just did that.
Yeah, Bong. Tumpity tum tum, tumpity tum tum.
Look at Bongo.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, everybody. We're back with Down the Rabbit Hole. We've gone halfway down the rabbit hole. Now we're gonna go down all the way till we hit the bottom. Okay, and we're gonna be showing you loads of videos. Be forewarned. If you're gonna watch this, as I said, for chapter 1, I'm gonna tell you this for chapter 2. Please, you got to be patient, okay? If you really need to pause and play back later on when you're more free, please do so because you don't want to miss a second of this. We're going to be talking about 2 things here today. Well, 2 very broad things. One is this thing called the Buga Sphere. Buga. Not booger from your nostrils, yeah? B-U-G-A, Buga Sphere. Why is it called a Buga Sphere? Because this thing was discovered in Buga, Colombia. And here's a picture of the Buga Sphere. It's a close-up picture. There you go. We're going to be talking about this thing. If you haven't yet to hear about this, don't worry about it. We're going to take you from the very, very top. So let's play the introduction to what this whole damn thing is about. Hey, Kai, take it away, Kai.
The University of Georgia was able to carbon date resin from the Buga Sphere, and it was dated at 12,560 years old.
March 17th, 2025. Buga, Colombia, 2:47 p.m. A metallic sphere tears through power lines and slams into a farmer's field. The impact should have shattered it, should have left dents, cracks, something. But when investigators arrive, they find perfection. A flawless orb. No seams, no welds, no joints. Just smooth metal that shouldn't exist, and carved into its surface, symbols that make linguists step back and shake their heads. These aren't hieroglyphs. They're not cuneiform. They're not anything we've seen before. For months, the sphere sat in labs while scientists threw everything at it. X-rays revealed 3 concentric shells nested inside each other like Russian dolls. 9 microspheres floating between the layers. A tiny chip at its core that defies every attempt to identify it.
Okay, everybody, you just watched the video of the Buga Sphere. We just played you a sample of it. Can you imagine? This farmer in Colombia, Bong, picked it up. The video you saw flying, that's the actual thing.
Actual thing, yeah.
And when it hit the power lines, it fell. And this guy picked it up with his bare hands. I mean, I wouldn't touch the damn thing with my bare hands, I can tell you.
Yeah.
And there's more to it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. We will tell you more in a while. One thing you got to know is it's been carbon dated because inside, within the edges, there are resin. The resin was taken and it was put through carbon dating. I think Graham Hancock is going to be validated here. That sphere is 12,560 years old. Around the end of the Ice Age. Familiar?
Yes.
The Younger Dryas
Yes.
will happen after the end of the Ice Age.
Correct.
And predating modern metalworking by a millennia. It contains internal fiber optic material. It's confirmed there are fiber optic materials inside this thing. Has no visible seams, defying known human manufacturing capabilities of that period. Come on, that's BC. 12,560 years old is years ago, was even before what mainstream archaeology has stated, that we are just 6,000 to 8,000 years human civilization.
Yes.
This predates everything by goodness gracious me, eons.
Yeah.
And then for you to know, people, the sphere, this Buga Sphere, reportedly exhibits spontaneous, unexplained weight gain. From 16 pounds, it became 12 pounds, but the mass remains the same, suggesting it may interface with zero-point energy and draw or store energy from vacuum fluctuations. Now, this is where we have to play the next video of the Buga Sphere.
The weight anomaly alone breaks our understanding. 16 pounds became 22 pounds. No material absorbed, no chemical reaction, just mass appearing from nowhere. One theory? The sphere interfaces with zero-point energy fields, literally pulling weight from quantum foam. If that's true, we're not looking at a message. We're looking at a device that taps into the fundamental machinery of space-time. This isn't just some mystery in a Colombian field anymore. This could be humanity's first contact with Type 2 civilization technology, the kind that harnesses entire stars. But before you think we're making this up, let's strip away speculation. Let's show you exactly what we know for certain about this sphere. March 17th, 2025. Buga, Colombia. Power lines snap. A metallic object plummets into Juan Velasco's field. When he approaches, the grass is dead for 30 feet in every direction. Not burned, desiccated. Like something sucked every drop of moisture out. The sphere measures 30 centimeters across, 12 inches of impossibility. X-ray analysis confirmed by 3 independent labs. 3 concentric aluminum shells, 95% pure. The remaining 5%? Trace elements that don't match any standard alloy. Between the shells, 9 microspheres float in perfect suspension. No wires, no magnets. They just hang there. At the dead center, a chip. Maybe silicon, maybe something else. Too small to extract without destroying the whole structure. The weight measurements came from different scales on different days. Day 1, 16 pounds. Day 7, 20 pounds. Day 14, 22 pounds. No explanation. Physics says mass doesn't just appear. The sphere says physics is wrong. Jose Velasquez leads the Mexican investigation team. He's handled meteorites for 20 years. His quote, "I've never seen anything like this, ever." Julia Mossbridge from UC San Diego wants Harvard's Galileo project involved. She's not saying it's alien, she's saying it needs serious study. Real science, not YouTube speculation. The Sanskrit chant videos, still unverified. But the Colombian farmer swears the sphere hummed when his daughter sang near it. Frequency 432 hertzes, the same frequency some musicians call cosmic. Think of it like this. You find a smartphone case with no phone inside, except the case can bend light, generate fields, and gains weight by itself. That's our reality now. Mexican scientists have the sphere. NASA requested samples. 3 universities want to study it. Everyone's being careful, because if this is real technology, whoever understands it first changes the world. Or maybe the world's already changing. We just found the instruction manual. So where does that leave humanity? Standing at the edge of the biggest discovery in history? Or chasing shadows and coincidence? Let's step back and look at what we're really dealing with here. A metal sphere crashes in Colombia. No seams, no welds. 3 impossible shells that shouldn't exist. It gains weight without adding mass. 16 pounds becomes 22 pounds. Physics can't explain it. Dead vegetation for 30 feet. No radiation, no chemicals, just complete cellular dehydration in a perfect circle. Symbols that no human language expert can read. Patterns that don't match any alphabet we've ever created. Then quantum AI cracks the code, and everything changes. The engravings aren't words. They're universal constants, Planck's constant, the golden ratio, the fine structure constant that holds atoms together, precision beyond our best measurements. Deeper layers reveal gravitational wave signatures, black holes colliding, pulsars spinning, coordinates pointing to empty space where something might be waiting. The simulation says it's a resonance amplifier, a device that could bend electromagnetic fields, store gravitational signatures, interface with space-time itself. Quantum AI has revealed something that looks godlike, not because it's divine, but because it contains the operating manual for reality, the mathematical blueprints that build galaxies, the frequencies that collapse probability into matter, the deepest code of existence, carved into metal we can't reproduce. Think about what this means. Either someone on Earth built an impossible object with fake alien writing as the most elaborate hoax in history, or we're holding proof that we're not alone. And whoever's out there understands physics at a level that makes our science look like cave paintings. Jose Velasquez has studied space rocks for decades. He says this isn't natural. Julia Mossbridge from UC San Diego wants every test possible. She knows the implications. NASA requested samples but won't say why. 3 universities are fighting for access. And somewhere in Japan, a second sphere might be sitting in a vault, waiting. Is this a probe checking if Earth has intelligent life? The fact we decoded it might be the test. Is it a data capsule? A gift of knowledge from a civilization trying to uplift others? Or is it something else? A beacon, a key, a warning. The quantum computers gave us the what? Universal constants, gravitational signatures, cosmic coordinates, but they can't tell us why. Why Earth? Why now? Why encode reality's source code in a sphere? What do you think this really is? We're either witnessing the greatest discovery in human history or the most elaborate mystery ever created. The universe just handed us a puzzle. The question isn't whether we'll solve it. The question is whether we're ready for the answer. Because some doors, once opened, can't be closed. And we just found the key.
Wow. Okay. This is where, Bong, I'm just going to very quickly ask Kai to put up the analysis that's been done by Stephen Greer, because Stephen Greer is a huge part of this. And the only damn thing is I can't read it.
Yeah.
Let me give you a gist, people, of what we put up there. If you can pause this and you can enlarge it in your own and have a look-see. Basically, they've deciphered what the language is that is the Cyrillic symbols on the sphere. And apparently, it's Proto-Sanskrit. And Proto-Sanskrit is like older than Sanskrit. It is a universal language encoded encoding universal constants of physics, and it's got a message there, as a matter of fact. And the message, there is it's been kind of loosely translated, and it has this warning. The linguistic analysis of the symbols suggests that they contain an early writing about a possible significant and civilization-changing event related to Earth's geophysical stability, dating back to the end of the last ice age. So, again, Younger Dryas. Kai, is there something else there that...
the video, right?
Hang on.
The third video.
No, actually, there is a kind of a... I mean, that is basically my summary. Never mind, Kai. That's a summary of what the loosely translated translation of the Cyrillic language of Proto-Sanskrit is on the sphere.
Yeah.
Now there are multiple spheres. As a matter of fact, reportedly there are 5 separate, apparently identical Buga spheres operating in the same region of Buga, Colombia. And now we heard the one in Japan as well, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about all this, man?
I think basically this sphere object that we now have a lot of broadcasts over social media actually took place. I didn't do much research on this, but it actually happened about 10 to 20 years ago I think in the US or the UK, we had a case of a similar case, but there was no writing on that sphere.
Yeah, so it's just a silver sphere.
It's
right?
a silver ball, right? So I think that one was also investigated upon, but I think due to the stigma of UFOs, right?
Yeah.
They didn't do very much. But this time around for this Buga Sphere, a lot of people are involved again.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's basically all about money. If I can crack the code, I can develop the technology.
Yeah.
I'll be a millionaire. My company is going to be $1 billion.
I think I've seen the video of that one, the one in the US. They played music or something and it floated. Or
it floated, so it moved on its own, right? So sometimes these kind of spheres are, when you say most of the time, I see something in the sky. So it's very small, just moving here and there. These are all the spheres. We call it UFO, unidentified flying objects. They're flying here and there. I don't like UAP. It's too rubbish. I still prefer the older term UFOs. So this is what you see. And it so happened that it fell down. Now, there are two reasons why it fell down to Earth. One is a gift. I'm going to give you this gift. Go decipher and break it open. Or the second thing is just really hit some electrical circuit and it fell. So it could be that an accidental gift. But more can be done, of course, if this research is carried on by many more, I would say, universities around the world, many more project groups around the world to give it weight, to give it credibility. Then we can actually see, basically support each other and say, yes, this is something very unique.
Yeah, but the report that's out that we showed on screen just now that Stephen Greer actually gave to the public, I think that one warrants some study into it, because those are actual reports coming out of labs.
Yeah, correct.
So you guys should really pause that and take a look at it. And you know, I feel that the Buga Sphere may not just be by NHI or aliens or an extraterrestrial source. It could be from a period in humankind that we have yet to discover, from the time when people thought that Atlantis was so super advanced, from a time when after the Ice Age, we could have become very more technologically advanced than we are today at that point, you know, and what even Graham Hancock has mooted that there was human civilization at the time. Are we more technically advanced then, or were we different? Perhaps. And maybe this Buga Sphere is a survivor of that period. I don't know.
That's a good point.
It could be built by human hands.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that. You know,
because there's many. If you do the rabbit hole dive again in research into this, you'll find that sometimes, or some people say that our current civilization is the fourth on this planet. We are the fourth because 3 actually phased out through natural disasters and cosmic disasters. So we are the 4th generation. And when we go back further, of course, when we say the previous artifacts are like the pyramids, what is found underneath the pyramids now is still being understudied. The sphere that you have now, and many other anomalies that you still find. It could be done by human beings, but through the younger dryas that killed everyone or all living things and just leave a remainder of us. We look at them as mysteries, but it could be human intelligence already done and cracked the code, and we are now just rediscovering it.
You know, the chief Egyptologist, Dr. Zawi Hawaz, right? He has put it out there that next year there's going to be an announcement of a discovery that's going to change our history. We don't know what that is, but it seems like it's still around the pyramids of Giza. So we're gonna be watching that one closely, just to let you know, and see what happens then. Who knows? Like I said, I think Graham Hancock might just be vindicated again, you know, and validated for everything he's researched. Okay, so that's the Buga Sphere, people. It really warrants a lot more attention. And this is in the hands of human beings now, you know, and it's really. Everything you just watched, they're facts. They're not plucked from the sky just because this is on YouTube, okay? Now we're going to show you something even stranger. The last bit of this video you'll be watching, it's something that we should really, you know, really... I don't know how I'm going to describe this. You got to really... take it with a pinch of salt, yeah? And then you could consider about this. This is something that was found in the Nevada desert. Now, I would ask you to please take a look at the rounded edges of the two ends of this particular object and tell me what you see. Okay? Here we go. Let's play
This
that one.
YouTuber live streamed himself drilling into an alleged extraterrestrial object. And what happens next, most users will find extremely unsettling.
No, I'm sorry.
The YouTuber known as James claimed to have found a mysterious metallic cylinder in the desert near Las Vegas, Nevada in November 2025. The object, which had unusual engravings,
Take a look at the
looks very
engravings.
identical to the Buga Sphere. During the live stream, as he is drilling into the object, a blue light appears to beam in the reflection before James turns around and sees some sort of portal being opened. The live stream continues as James reportedly suffered a sudden medical emergency, possibly a seizure or something worse, after which the screen goes dark, with sudden flashes of light shown randomly over the remainder of the live stream. The live stream ended abruptly, and there has been no confirmed update on James's condition or whereabouts since.
Welcome to Stranger Things Season 7.
The last bit, I'm not sure, man.
Yeah.
But it looks very hard to make up, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, things like that just struck me. The desert was the object that we saw all over the world that came out a few years back. What do you call it? What is that thing called? What's the name for it? It's like a cylinder on Earth, on the ground, like the show 2001 Space Odyssey.
Oh,
Is it the monolith?
the obelisk.
Obelisk, yes, obelisk.
As a monolith.
The monolith obelisk, right?
monolith, yeah.
So that was also very mysterious. Also happened around the area. last few
Yeah,
years.
I mean, it just pops up just about anywhere. right?
That one really intrigued me. I was like, hey, wow, all over the place, is coming out. They
Yeah.
just disappeared
Yeah.
out of action. So this one, until we can find more footages, I guess maybe or
Yeah, but it's funny because the etchings on the the engravings on the two semi-round edges of that cylindrical thing
Yeah.
is like what we saw on the Buga Sphere.
something can be also copied. I would say because this object happened to come out after the Buga Sphere.
Yeah.
So again, unless we can have a very close-up look and touch and feel by many people, like the
Yeah.
Buga Sphere, then I would
So
say
that one we're really taking that one with a pinch of salt, right?
it's a rabbit hole.
That is something maybe we don't want to go down, but to show you something, Bong's seen this video, and this freaked him out too. It freaked the living shit out of me and Kai. You gotta watch this one. This one was discovered also by a farmer, also in South America, in Panama. We call this the Panama meteorite, and this is freaky, and I don't think this is faked. Take a look at this.
¿Fue eso? ¿Qué fue?
Please note that as the ground's on fire, the object just hit that
Wow, ¿eso qué es?
and hit the ground and created a crater.
¿Qué? ¡Corre! ¡Ven a ver!
And
¿Qué?
it's really a small little rock.
Más agua.
And the Bodo fella picks it up with his hand. Like, can you imagine that?
¿Sabes cuánto debe valer esto?
Todo en las redes sociales que parece una papa, que era algo de hormigas, esto cayó del cielo. El meteorito ha cambiado de color y me di cuenta que destruye todo lo que es planta. No se puede acercar a una planta porque... Miren ustedes. Cuando uno le pone algo con vida, como esta hoja,
There was nothing on the screen. Can we continue
piedra.
that? Bring it back on the screen.
no sé de dónde vendrá, de qué galaxia. Les voy a enseñar algo de otro mundo. Aquí en el lugar donde cayó el meteorito hace varios días.
This is the ground of
Cuando yo
where the
apago la
impact
luz,
was.
miren cómo se ve.
And it's lighting up at
Algo
night. The ground
totalmente
is
increíble.
kind of luminescent.
Si algo me preocupa
Now check
es
this one
que
out.
algún día se desprenda de la roca. Pero por ahora no. Por ahora le mantengo su
He placed
crecimiento
this object in the sun,
paralizado, pues
and
no lo dejo
things
tomar
started
mucha
growing
luz.
out, like spores
Cuando
growing
toma
out
luz solar,
of the rock.
crece.
And it's
Por eso que lo
alive.
mantengo en la oscuridad. Esto no se alimenta, esto no respira, esto no toma agua. Solamente lo que recibe energía es como de la luz. Ha crecido bastante.
Good grief.
Yeah, it gets bigger.
Ha crecido bastante. Ha
It's
cambiado de
growing.
color. Ya ha crecido bastante. A pesar que no lo he sacado al sol, ya ha crecido bastante y puedo sacar pedazos y se lo puedo enviar.
He's using his bare hands.
Yeah, hero.
No puedo dormir, pero no me siento tampoco agotado. Lo que quiero es que se mueva bastante. Es que a veces cuando se mueve bastante.
Look at that. And it's moving, see? So what this guy's done, this Bodo Pikambing fella, is that he cut off some bits of it, puts it into jars, right? And he sent them out to labs. To different labs to do independent analysis. Whatever happened after all that, we haven't a freaking clue. You know, I mean, I don't know whether or not he's been disappeared or the object has been taken away by whoever.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know. But the freaky part, man, is that thing was moving and it kept growing out of the rock.
Yeah. Imagine if that hits, let's say, a forest or the Amazon forest or any kind of forest, Bukit Timah forest.
And out there in the sun, exposed in the sun.
It will just grow.
If he didn't find that rock, if it was just left there, right, in the ground, what would have happened?
Yeah, that's right. You know, this is a extraterrestrial organism that's growing.
Do you think that's fake, man?
I'm not very sure, man.
It doesn't look possible, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't look possible, but very Venom-like, you know, Marvel.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, you're right. It's very Venom.
So I mean, it's something interesting to just keep a tab on.
Yeah.
And we have just got to wait more stories.
I got news for you, my friend. Initially, when we both looked at that video, right, it was on TikTok. Guess what? I couldn't find it on TikTok.
Yeah, it was
removed.
Yeah.
But I managed to find it on Instagram. The TikTok video is a lot more close-up, is a lot better.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's gone, correct.
So I couldn't find it anymore, man.
Yeah, speaking of that is also another thing in this field that is called censorship, done by many people. I don't know who gave them the authority, but they can actually delete videos off. Yeah,
I have a funny feeling that this guy was probably told to bring it down.
Yeah, you know, something disturbing, you know, like I mentioned. Disturbing things.
But some people have already shared it and, you know, continued sharing it.
Correct.
And I managed to just find this one thing, this one footage. Everything else has been syndicated around, shared around, it's all taken off. And I tell you, that's curious, yeah?
Yeah.
So, we managed to get whatever we could find. And now you guys have seen it, okay? So, we're going to move further down the rabbit hole. Bong and I are going to bring you down towards the bottom now. And what's been happening, man? We're going to show you about what people call the legacy program. And then these are about the cover-ups for the last 80 years. And what disclosure has been like, starting from the first U.S. Congress hearing on UAPs, on the UAP phenomenon, and they call it UAP. Bong calls it UFO. I'm okay either way. And what's the latest so far on these things, and culminating to the movie that's now Oscar nominated for Best Documentary. Believe it or not, it's on Amazon Prime. You can't get it here in Singapore.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. But it's on Amazon Prime in the US. And the movie is called The Age of Disclosure. We will tell you more as we go along in this particular episode. But let's start first with an official testimony in non-human on UAP and non-human intelligence from the former UAP Task Force Special Advisor David Grush. You heard about him in our last episode on the U.S. congressional hearings. He's the first whistleblower to come out officially in the U.S. Congress, and he provided a sworn public testimony to them, stating the U.S. has recovered NHI, non-human sentient individuals, and including vehicles and biologics. I mean, biologics will be individuals, and that UAP whistleblowers face threats and harassment, including David Grush himself. Now, just watch David Grush as he appeared on Fox News. Here we go.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they human or non-human biologics?
Non-human.
Well, let's get some insight into the UAP, or UFO, it used to be called, controversy, and what Congress is trying to do about it. Joining us now, retired Air Force Major David Grush, who has been a whistleblower on the subject of UFOs, UAPs, and government transparency. He's a special advisor now to the House UAP Task Force. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me on, Bro.
Since then, people say, where is the evidence? What's happening? Why don't we know more right now, almost 2 years later?
Well, certainly the last administration didn't help, and my hearing, of course, was during the last administration, and they were not exactly super transparent on this issue, unfortunately. But now that the task force has been created, I've been able to, guide the members within the boundaries of what they're actually cleared for.
When people look at this, they look online, they say there's a lot out there. There's a lot of people talking about encounters. There's a lot of people talking about videos, and we've seen a lot of that. Can we just cut it down to, you believe that we have encountered alien beings and that they've come to Earth and that we know about it as a U.S. government?
That seems to be the case. I don't like to characterize necessarily where they came from. They're definitely some kind of non-human sentience, but it is true, believe it or not, we've recovered the vehicles, and we actually have physical proof, and I was actually partially cleared into some of those activities. It was beyond oral testimony provided to me. I actually had partial access to the data and actually read the intelligence reports resulting from those programs.
Like with your own eyes, correct. You saw it?
Yes.
And so when people say this is kooky, this is out there, there's nothing to back it up.
I don't speak for other parts of the government, but I can tell you NASA, which I speak for, is open and transparent with our data.
Do you believe what Mr. David Grush said, or is he lying?
Whatever he said, where's the evidence?
What do you say?
Certainly members of this current administration are very, very well aware of this reality. Certainly the current president is very knowledgeable on this subject, and I trust his leadership on it, and I think he's assembled an A-team cabinet, and I really believe if Trump wants to be the greatest president and the most consequential leader likely in world history, he certainly has the knowledge, the capabilities, and understanding of some of these sensitive government transparency issues.
I have access, and I speak to people about it. I've had actually meetings on it. People that are very smart and very solid have said they believe there is something out there. And, it makes sense that there could be. I've never been convinced, even despite that. I just... For some reason, it's not my thing.
So you think, one, he knows, and two, he's open to transparency on UAPs?
He certainly is very well informed on this issue. Leave it at that. I don't want to get ahead of what the president might want to reveal personally.
There's been a role to cover this up, you're saying, through administrations. And there have been people who have been threatened and told not to testify?
I was physically threatened even before I sent in my Intelligence Community Inspector General report under the previous administration. I actually had to go and seek legal protection that way because I was, literally in fear both professionally and in my personal life.
And when you mentioned in that testimony of recovering the pilots or remains non-human, that's something that you saw as far as the intelligence with your eyes?
Yes. And it is a very uncomfortable, even for me now, as somebody who's seen it, experienced it, even talking about it, because it's so outside a normal person's worldview to understand that there is this biological sentience that have piloted these crafts that don't necessarily look 100% like you and I.
Were there pictures? Were there?
There were. Yes, there were.
When I said from another planet or from outer space, you said we don't know where they're from. Is it interdimensional? What are we talking about?
I've talked to a lot of, I'll call graybeards on the program. That is a subject of hot debate on origin. As a guy trained in physics formally as well in my background, I leave an open mind on what the origin is. Certainly, there is the extraterrestrial hypothesis, and they could be coming from elsewhere off Earth, but I don't usually go there because I did not see that data, and I'm not conversant in the high confidence theories that the U.S. government had.
I'm not aware of any remains that the department has of any signs of extraterrestrial beings or activity or technology.
You say the U.S. government knows, but there are many other governments around the world. Do they know?
They have their own programs, and like I said 2.5 years ago, we have been in arms race with our peer competitors, namely Russia and China, and they have their own programs in this regard. And I was actually able to view a body of intelligence that discussed adversarial programs, and I'll leave it at that.
We've recovered things, you say, bodies and physical remains. Was there a sense that the motive of how they got here, what they were doing, was it peaceful, not peaceful?
We've seen a mixed bag of activity, and motive and intent, why they're visiting. That's, once again, that gets into our assessments, not necessarily, we can't quite understand the intent of some of the sentience and why they're visiting. Could it be because we have interesting genetic material on Earth? We're a Jurassic Park tourist attraction for them. Could be a myriad of reasons.
For the other people who are coming out, you say to them what? You've obviously faced intimidation. You talked about harassment. There are reports that others have too.
I say that there's hope. Certainly, Congress values whistleblower information right now, and certainly I believe there's an appetite with the administration to do the right thing on this as well. And there's some other things that are happening behind the scenes that I'll let the administration discuss when they're ready.
Oh, wow. Just to let you know, man, Congresswoman Paulina actually said that Grush, because he works for Congress now, when he was on the way to Congress, somebody threatened him at gunpoint, man. Yeah, that was quite recent. So this whole thing is really like it's dangerous for whistleblowers.
It's a government within a government, so it's a very I don't know who to be more afraid, the aliens or these people.
No, allegedly. I know there's a shadow government.
There's a shadow government. So somebody is trying to keep the lid on it, to keep it shut up, to keep human beings shut up, I call that. Or sometimes another theory has it that we are basically at gunpoint by these NHI aliens to keep our mouth shut because there's going to be a takeover. And they don't want this to be revealed. Something like the movie V. Do you remember that American?
The reptilians.
Reptilian movie a long time ago. Wow,
lizard people eat children.
There is just so there's so much. Although it's entertainment, but there's so much stories inside.
There's so many things Hollywood probably knows that we don't.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, let's play the next video. This is where Congressman Tim Burchett expressed significant frustration, stating the UAP cover-up is so deep, it's likely not profitable for those pushing for disclosure, and that Congress is being stonewalled by agencies who cite national security. So this is Burchett on Carlson. Oh, of all people, Carlson. But I took out the juicy part. So those of you, the parts where we'll give you more context. So here we go.
We've had sworn testimony where they'll say, I've seen beings. There's a movie coming out.
Hold on. And the testimony says this is sworn testimony.
Sworn testimony. There are beings, and there's saucers or some craft or something. But there's a movie coming out pretty soon, if it's ever allowed to come out. I was in it a little bit, and you have former members of the CIA, you have others that positively say they were there. And they identified these things. They diagnosed them, and they saw them. They saw the craft. And, there's enough people out there saying it, but they're just so suppressed. And the media moves on so fast on something. And I've been on so many of these interviews, and they're playing the theme from some crazy TV show or something before I come on, and they're just making a joke out of it. And I get it. People want to laugh about it.
I don't get it at all.
Yeah. I mean, I get the fact.
Seems like an absolutely, it seems
they
like
just want to humiliate me. And
it's a deadly serious topic, objectively speaking. And if
it's a national defense issue, it's everything. It's everything. I mean, it's not a national, it's a world defense issue.
That tells you right there, that's part of an operation designed to discredit people who ask questions, right?
Yeah. And I've had military personnel call me and tell me they've chased these things. They've been in the water. I had one guy tell me a story. He was an officer, and he was in the water fishing on the East Coast, and this huge craft flew over them, and then these several jets were flying, trying to keep up with it, and he identified the jets because he was obviously an Air Force officer. And he said, look, I just want you to continue on this thing. You're not, a lot of people have seen stuff. And he said, I have. And, and I mean, he had a distinguished career, but it just continues on and on and on. And it gets patted on the head and say, okay, you can have another hearing. And then we do it. But until somebody in the White House says disclose, or somebody walks out of one of these labs with something and and shows it and puts it on YouTube before he's allowed to commit suicide, that's the only way we're going to get to the bottom of it, because it will never, it's so deep. The layers of the onion is so deep, you just keep peeling it off, and it's just a different person, a different story. You go over here, the naivety of Congress, you have members telling me, well, let's go over here and get we'll get a tour of where you think these things are. I was like, dude, once we announce that, the U-Haul vans are already been there and gone. It's not that way. It's not going to work that way. Congress is not going to walk in there with all its magnificence and arrogance and find something.
If the public is being lied to by the government, if there's a continuous, ongoing, publicly funded campaign to lie to the American public by its own government, that is justification for overthrowing the government. That's my opinion. They can't do that in a democracy because we own the government. They don't. And so that alone, leaving aside the reality of UAPs, why is it so hard for somebody in authority, either in the White House or in congressional leadership, to say, we want this information and we want it by the close of business today, or else you're fired, or we're going to send soldiers in and get the information? Why is that hard?
I just don't think it's profitable for them. I think there's too much money, and it goes too deep. And you have a lot of soldiers, they're not literally soldiers, but people that just follow orders. And they said it's national security. They think it's national security.
So it sounds like you have no confidence that this stuff's going to emerge.
No, I have zero confidence on this side but I don't have any confidence in anybody in Washington currently. I have confidence in Trump. I really do. I think if we can talk to him seriously about this for a short amount of time, I think he'll just tell him to jam it. We're going to do
it. Wow.
Yeah.
In true Tucker Carlson fashion.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, you can raise boards, for the overthrow of the government. My goodness me.
American talk.
Americans, the way they talk.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the objective of this is to show everybody that, look, man, I mean, even Congress is being stonewalled. And Burchett knows more than most people. He just can't talk about it. I just can't stand this thing, from people like Rush and from Lou Elizondo and Burchett and all the people in Congress that, we can't talk about it because there's no clearance to talk about it. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I think you got to understand when you see in your perspective for the audience most of you do not know what is a Congress. Most of you do not know what is an American government. You most probably won't know who this person Burchett is. So I think it's very good if you can do some research and then you find out, this person is basically basically part of the political system.
I mean, let's just try to give a very short description. Congress people, but for the first time in American history, they have a bipartisan agreement to work together. There are only two parties, right? Or the third one's called independent, but it's not a party, it's independent. You have the Republicans, you have the Democrats, and they're always at each other's throats, yeah? So they're all fighting to have one president up there that's either from either one camp.
Yes.
But this time, for one of the very few things in history of the U.S. government, you've got Congress, bipartisan effort of both Republicans and Democrats trying to get to the bottom of this UAP mystery. Okay, and they want things to be disclosed. They want to know where all the funding has gone, because billions and billions and billions, up to $1 trillion, have gone out in their coffers towards the military for projects that that where suddenly you see there's so much money that's missing. If you remember Donald Rumsfeld, that time, he was kind of disgraced, right? Because the weapons of mass destruction. Therefore, the George W. Bush administration has got to go into Iraq, right? And then they said that there were millions missing, right? And they blame Rumsfeld.
Yeah.
I mean, you just think. Now, I mean, where did the money go? I mean, come on.
Yeah, because
you put two and two together, man.
Yeah, since the alleged crash in Roswell during the Cold War period after World War II, Americans basically took this technology to farm out to third-party enterprise like airplane companies and all that. And what they have is that bits and pieces of this technology to work on and try to study. They were not told where they come from. But most of it, they said it came from the enemy, whatever. And then they were told to grow this technology. So we had a case of Colonel Corso, who actually made a book. He wrote a book before he died, and was also interviewed. What these technologies had actually developed. One of them is fiber optics that you see today. Another one is transistors. Even the use of Kevlar. All right. So things like this happen. If you go down a rabbit hole again and you study or you read very good authors like this, you can find out that this legacy meaning that it's a long program, 80 years, where they try to reverse engineer
and cover up.
But the problem is, by reversing engineering and putting these products into different companies, they will not want to share their technology outside because of their own financial benefits and also for their own R&D expenditure. So we have this problem now in America, where the Congress, they can't touch on something because there is nothing. It's all hidden by these various companies.
So their accounting that just cannot be balanced.
That's right.
Right. So, okay, now let's move on to this next video. Oh, this one's really interesting. And let me tell you, before we play that video on transient UFOs, this particular issue has been brought out for peer review, and it has been published. So it has been recognized officially by fellow scientists in the scientific community. This is really some cool stuff, man. So let's play this one, and you got to really listen closely. Here we go.
These short flashes, and not streaks, they are associated with things that are extremely flat and extremely reflecting.
Wow.
Like mirrors.
Like mirrors. This is from the Palomar Observatory before we had satellites in space. How many of these transients did you find?
Our original sample is around 105,000 transients from just the northern hemisphere.
Dr. Beatrice Villarreal holds a PhD in astrophysics. She's won the L'Oreal UNESCO Prize for Women in Science. She's currently an associate professor at Stockholm University, where her research runs the gambit from active galactic nuclei to transient phenomena in the search for intelligent life.
If I look at everything that I learned in the last years, I will be fair. I don't think we are alone. I think we have company.
In other words, Dr. Villarreal is someone who really knows her shit when it comes to the night skies and cosmos.
My name is Beatrice Villarreal, and I'm a very curious person.
And it's precisely these illustrious mainstream astronomical accomplishments which make her latest paradigm-shattering results all the more shocking and threatening to the establishment.
Doctor, let me first say that your reputation...
Actually, first, could you ask the gentleman with the firearms to wait outside?
Dr. Villarreal has found over 100,000 light-reflecting unidentified objects on the plates of the Palomar Observatory, the most prominent observatory in use in the 1950s. The only thing is, she detected these objects before the first satellite, Sputnik, ever orbited Earth. You heard me right. A conventionally renowned astronomer has detected over 100,000 UFOs before humans ever put anything in space. And the debunkers are flailing in their attempts to take her down. Do you feel like the world is ready to accept this?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Before man had ever placed anything in space, the Sputnik by the Soviets was the first object we put in space. And this woman, what she did is peer-reviewed and has been published, yeah? There's no way you can run away from facts and data.
Yeah.
And the data is solid. Goes to the Palomar Observatory, which was the most actively used observatory before Sputnik, pulls out all the plates the cameras at the observatory have taken and compared that to the skies throughout the years. And our orbit was filled with light reflecting objects. There's over 100,000 of them, and they've been around our planet.
UFOs.
Now, if you don't freaking believe in it now,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell is wrong with you, man.
Yeah.
Really. Now, this has been peer-reviewed and it has been published.
Yeah.
It is considered fact and hard data.
Yeah. So as you can see now, the topic on this UFOs is getting very deep because a lot of people are now participating, and people of knowledge, people with the brains, people with the reputation, good reputation, and they're participating. And how it has grown exponentially with just these few years after the Congress inquiry, and it just gave the green light. It's okay to study this.
Lots of things are coming out of the woodwork, right?
Yeah, and this is really remarkable because this is you cannot lie this. You cannot lie on this.
You can't.
There's nothing in the sky before 1950s.
Precisely.
And
man.
you take all these plates, basically observation plates, and you study them. My goodness, this is
I've been watching this Dr. Beatrice Villarreal for a while, and in a few documentaries or a few interviews, she's gone back as far as ancient times. And I got to tell you this, man. These lights around our orbit in space have been around since then. I'm talking about thousands of years ago till today.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's get this shit right, okay? Just remember this. This has been peer-reviewed and published.
Yeah, even
it's good data.
Yeah, even the lights over Washington, D.C. in 1952, where there was a spate of UFO sightings over that. This was also correlated with one of her plates that actually had the same, I would call that the same structure of lights at the very same date where this appeared over the US in 1952.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's because of her research, and they found this correlation.
I mean, this woman has given very credible stuff so far, man. You know, I really trust her work. And now, since you mentioned earlier on about the Legacy Program, let me remind all of you, the Legacy Program is what's been named to be the reverse engineering program and cover-ups as well by the U.S. government, allegedly, for the last 80 years. They call it the Legacy Program. So that's the language that you might just want to remember. And then you can see on what Kai has flashed on the screen earlier on, who is actually coordinating all of that. And of course, it's a 3-letter agency, starting letter C. You can see that. You can rewind and take a look at what Kai flashed earlier. Now, we're going to talk about that Legacy Program, part of that, and on how the U.S. allegedly have been reverse engineering alien space technology in this video, which Kai will be playing right now.
Good morning. My name is Mark McCandlish, and for the last 21 years, I have worked as a conceptual artist for a variety of defense contractors. During the course of my career, I've twice had a secret security clearance. In 1988, in November, a college buddy of mine, an associate by the name of Brad Sorensen, informed me that he had personally witnessed 3 flying saucers at a very large hangar at Norton Air Force Base during the course of an air show that was held on Saturday, November 12, 1988. I subsequently called my congressman from that district, a male staff member in Congressman Brown's office, not only confirmed the exhibit, but the fact that there were 3 discs at that exhibit. These discs were hovering off the floor without any visible means of support. They were referred to as alien reproduction vehicles, also nicknamed the flux liner because they used high voltage electricity. This is a diagram that I made based on a sketch that Brad Sorensen did for me in rough form shortly after he had his sighting, and subsequently cleaned that drawing up and made it much more accurate. And that's the drawing that Dr. Greer is holding there now.
The ARV system, for all of its claims of flashy, out-of-this-world propulsion capabilities, was indeed remarkably simple. It could be described as a large-scale, souped-up Tesla coil, designed to negate gravity and inertia, with off-the-shelf navigation and life support systems bolted on, almost as an afterthought. You could think of it as the Model T of anti-gravity vehicles, an industrial dune buggy, or crude hot rod that can get you to Mars in a few minutes. In this version at least, first-class seating was still a way off.
Everything I've been able to gather, it helps to understand what some of the components are. There's a large capacitor array on the bottom of the craft. It's in the smallest version, it's 24 feet in diameter. The outer edge of the plates and the capacitor section itself, they're shaved off at that same 35-degree angle. So you have a series of plates that are progressively smaller as you get higher and higher in the stack. And there's 48 sections that are all set up like that. Through the middle of the crew compartment is a central column that's called the amplifier section that's in the middle of the craft. On the very center point of that column is what looks like a large 9-foot diameter flywheel type mechanism. Then around the belt line of the crew compartment is about a 2-foot wide coil of wire that's embedded in the same glass-like material that the capacitor section plates are embedded in. And there's a kind of flange or fairing that traps the top and the bottom surfaces of the coil. You can see that it traps it there and at the top. But in between are a series of explosive bolts that run all the way around the craft. They said above this ledge there is looks like a door out of, your stereotypical cartoon submarine. It has a steel frame that's embedded in the side of this protruded sphere that makes up the crew compartment. And he said, and it had a wheel on it with little spokes that you would turn like an old, Captain Nemo submarine with the pins that would go out and lock into the door frame, and it had a seal on it so it'd be airtight. And then the ejection seats are mounted back to back. There's 4 of them in the smallest version of the craft, and they're mounted on this central column on a set of rails. In the event of an ejection, the explosive bolts separate the top and the bottom halves of the crew compartment, and the entire outer sheath of the central column pulls away along with the upper half of the crew compartment and the ejection seats. This crew compartment sphere can actually function as kind of a rudimentary reentry vehicle coming down through the atmosphere, and then once you get, say, below 14, 15, 16,000 feet, the thing will pop a chute out the top, and the ejection seats drop off on these rails one by one, and the pilot can drift down in a parachute or with a parachute.
That thing, that design that this guy's just going on about, the ARV, looks a little bit like what Lazar showed before.
Correct.
But I think this is probably the very first version of what they built, because now you don't need to have a separation and coming down with parachutes and then eject the pilot out. Forget it, man. But this guy is an illustrator, and can you imagine at an expo? These people, this witness saw the 3 objects.
If I got my facts correct, this presentation was done through one of the initiatives by Dr. Stephen Greer a very long time ago, where he had a press conference with the National Press Association in the US, where they had all these witnesses from that era. I think that was about 15 or 20 years ago.
2001.
2001. They participated in this very lengthy sharing session. It's very interesting. If you can catch it on YouTube, please go ahead and watch it. It's a very eye-opening things where evidence were all shown by these professionals.
And now that we're talking about, the reverse engineered vehicles, right? And you also heard what Tim Burchett has said about the upcoming movie. It's already out. We already told you just now. It's called The Age of Disclosure. We took a bit of it from there. And to just show you, because, Bong and I have talked about this before in our previous episodes, and we talked about how do these things fly, right? We talked about how space-time is warped, and they could bring space from there over to you when you're not actually moving, so you don't actually get the inertia of flight and that kind of speed, and it will probably kill someone, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm kind of proud to say that we were not too far wrong, because we have this astrophysicist this excerpt taken from the movie Age of Disclosure, this astrophysicist that works for Congress, who has now got an explanation for how these UAPs or UFOs actually take flight. Now let's take a look at that theory, the warp bubble theory from the movie. Let's take a look at this.
Energy, you could create a bubble, a warp bubble around a spacecraft that would have a different property of space-time inside the bubble than on the outside of the bubble.
This energy field would completely isolate the craft from the environment. So you might ask then, how does the craft actually move forward within its bubble?
The craft inside the bubble has a way of altering the bubble's properties in order to change its direction of motion.
Such that you have a downward press in front and an upward press behind. So it'd be like riding space-time in the same way that a surfer would ride a wave in the ocean. And we observe hypersonic velocity and instantaneous acceleration. And the reason is that time is moving differently for people inside the bubble versus people outside the bubble. Whoever's inside the craft would feel like they're just cruising along. They wouldn't be feeling the effects of what looks like speeds and accelerations that would turn a human being into pudding.
And one of the two gentlemen there is a guy named Dr. Hal Puthoff, and he was working for the Pentagon on this project, especially on UAPs. Yes, the Pentagon actually have an official group of people that have got to do research on the subject. Yeah. So these people are credible. They're a credible lot. So this whole thing makes sense, right, Bong? The warp bubble that we've always talked about?
Yeah, correct. I think through the years of ufology and research done, even sharing of eyewitnesses account like George Adamski, if you remember him. Also, you have things like Whitley Strieber, alien abductions. You go through further researches on DMT by Graham Hancock and all that. So you can see the progression, and the way the information is coming out is remarkable. It's really a lot and very quickly and very fast. So when you say age of disclosure, I think the age is coming soon. This is what I can predict. Somebody will say something, but that will open up the door to a lot of questions.
Yeah, this thing about going back to the warp bubble thing. There are so many sightings, including from our good friend Doug Anderson, my UFO magnet. Later on, we've got a picture. Kai, you might just want to search for it right now. One of the folders. It should not be in the folder. Actually, it should be somewhere around the main folder. Okay. And he was. I don't know if he's back yet. He sent me this picture when him and his wife were on holiday just last week in Edinburgh, Scotland. So later on, I'll show you that picture and for everyone else to take a look at. That's the one, Kai. Yeah. Let's play it now. Let's put it on now. It's kind of far for us to take a look at, but if you were to take a look closely, it's actually two separate objects. One that is kind of on the left hand side, it's more like a cube. The one on the right, funny thing, Bong, everywhere he goes, that thing follows him. It's not the first time I've seen this, but this one is the sphere outside of the cube. We've always known about the spheres inside the cube, right? We heard about whistleblowers who are pilots and all that, fighter pilots in the US. They give testimonies about seeing this thing, right? Besides the Tic Tac.
Yeah.
which I think the TikTok's reverse engineered anyway.
Yeah.
So Doug sent me that picture. I mean, they say his buddies are following him. He's still around still.
Yeah.
So that one was taken above in the skies of Edinburgh, Scotland.
Yeah, I have a late relative. He passed away already. God bless his soul. But he was a former pilot for Singapore Airlines.
Right.
And they actually saw something above the Straits of Taiwan.
Mutual friend of ours. Yeah.
Yeah. So
sadly passed away.
Yeah, sadly passed away. So he shared his encounter of the cubes. It was quite frightening, shocking for me because.
Did you see the same thing? Did you see a sphere in the cube?
He saw a thing huge. He says it's bigger than the Boeing 747. There were 3 of them flying above them.
Right.
But at that time, they had no cameras with them, etc. Right? And then they couldn't disclose it because they would have lost their license to fly.
He was warned not to talk about it, right?
Yes, warned not to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, but it, I mean...
From his captain.
Yeah, from his captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very interesting.
Okay, man. Let's move on. Cover-ups, as far as cover-ups go, what Bong is just said just now quite fiercely. NASA, wake the fuck up, man. We want to take a look at all the real shit, man. Stop hiding things from us. Well, unfortunately, my dear friend, they've done it again. This time with the International Space Station, there's been a blackout. The live feed suddenly went dark after an unidentified craft floated by. And this is a craft that I tell you is so common. Everyone has seen it around. I mean, in terms of sightings, right? People have cited UAPs and UFOs. This one is so frequently cited. It floated by the ISS. And some observers interpret this as a deliberate NASA cover-up. Now, let's take a look at this show. We're featuring so many other podcasts today.
What the hell is NASA hiding? A few days ago at 11 a.m. Central Time, the live feed from the International Space Station suddenly went black, or they cut to their slate with a bunch of text. We're experiencing some problems here. After some sort of a craft, something just floated by, some sort of an unidentified craft to many of us. Flew right by the International Space Station. So you can see it right here.
Entering that work volume while it's still in work.
And you can hear, of course, the voices of the International Space Station.
Absolutely. I will not do anything inside the work volume.
Now watch here on the right side of your screen.
Excellent config. You're very welcome. And just to kind of smooth things over when we do come back, KU, you'll be on Space to Ground 3 for your ops today with Shankini.
There you go. Keep sliding over, and then
3 with Shankini, thanks.
And then reappears. Now, according to reports, there's a black spot in the frame there, so when things move in the middle of that area, things do disappear. That's not like an anomaly, that's actually part of the camera. But there it goes, floating by. What the heck is that? And then, I think just shortly after that, then NASA cuts the feed and puts up their slate. It says, sorry, nothing more to see here.
I mean, you recognize that craft, right?
Yeah.
The TR-8, is it?
Yeah.
TR-8.
One of those, triangle UFOs, triangle Crete.
Yeah, but not really built by ET.
Yeah, but that's the thing about NASA. They've been doing this for years. Even the certain objects found on the moon, certain structures, they're airbrushed. Certain structures on Mars, they're airbrushed. They're removed. Oh. So, I mean, if you go, again, rabbit hole.
Don't get me started on Mars, man.
When you go right down rabbit hole, you'll find all these anomalies, but they're all covered up. And how do we know that they're covered up? Because there are whistleblowers that came out and tell.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to go that far. You just go to Google Mars, okay?
Yeah.
Let me just tell you guys this. When the Viking, when the Viking Voyager, when the Vikings and the Voyagers, right?
I think Orbiter.
The Orbiters are Voyagers. Vikings are the one that landed on Mars, right? Yeah. And when it landed on Mars a long, long time ago, when Carl Sagan was around in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, or the 80s, early 80s, when we first set but landed on Mars, and the first few images of Mars came to Earth, the whole world had a chance to look at it. It showed red sand, it showed red skies, but then today, when you go to Google Mars, it's not freaking red. They call it a red planet, but it's not freaking red. You look at the sky, all of a sudden we keep seeing things as red, and then we keep, every time they show stuff before, for over the years and decades, red, but it's never been red, man. The sky is kind of really light blue. You know, so what's, and they think people forget perhaps that, you know, we will try to show them a real red planet, but it's not freaking red. So what are we looking at? Yeah. So, I mean, come on, man. I mean, talk about airbrushing, talk about doing all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that craft probably, in my opinion, is not NHI. It doesn't belong to aliens. It's probably reverse engineered.
Yeah.
Because the triangle with the three lights.
Yeah, that's a very good book if you're interested in this. It's called Evidence, the Case for NASA UFOs by the author David Sereda, Sereda. If you can find it online, just find a PDF or just get the book, whatever. Basically, it's a 6-year scientific investigation into these anomalies that is caught by NASA, and NASA rejects every single one of them. Oh, no, we have not seen this. No, this is blah, 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 blah. So a lot of rejection. But this is a very good book to have. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be playing the next video right now with Dr. Stephen Greer talking about alien species. There's a reason why I'm playing this video first before we move on to what I'm going to tell you next. So let's play this one.
Earlier today, you mentioned there's a lot of misinformation about what ETs actually look like. Today, we hear about, what do we hear about, folks? Like reptilians, praying mantis beings, greys, humanoids, the hot Nordics. We hear it all.
Hot Nordics.
How much of that, is that all misinformation, or is some of that real?
So there's a whole variety of species. They look very different. There's one that looks very much like a triangular head. Some would say like a praying mantis head. But it didn't have the big bug eyes that they're portrayed. Those are lens coverings for the radiation of the light. There are some that look a little bit like a gray, but most of them are actually not like that. They have more human-looking face with no pinna. No ears, but no hair. And then there's a species that are very tall and rather luminous, white glowing, that are sort of transitioned between dimensions. But they're ETs, but they're very much at a level, let's say, evolutionary, where their bodies and craft can shift between 3D and, say, a very celestial level. There's one species that's very cetacean, that we've had many encounters with.
Cetacean?
Like a dolphin or a whale.
Oh, okay.
In terms of appearance, but they're upright, 2 arms, 2 legs, etc. One of a captain on a research naval vessel that was retrieving missiles that were nuclear test missiles going downrange down out of the Atlantic, who approached me. This was in '63. They triangulated a ET craft that was surveilling this and hit it with some kind of weapon, and he was vectored in the next morning to get it. And there was an ejection pod, and it was about 6 feet square, and he was very specific. This is an old Navy captain guy who then became a captain on a contract vessel, civilian. And interestingly, he said they were attractive little men, 4 of them. They were 39 inches tall, and their skin, his words, not mine, was the color of a Sicilian, bronze, and literal, I'm quoting, and but very attractive, handsome, but no hair, no pinna, very fine features. Interestingly, having dealt with many men who have been on direct crash retrieval operations, including ones very recently, none of them have ever described a hostile one. None of them have ever described the reptile ones that everyone's so enthralled of hating. No one has ever described. So in other words, the mythology, that is the stuff of the UFO subculture.
Okay, you know, Congresswoman Paulina has ever said that what she was told is that the beings that the whistleblowers in the skiff told her where they're from. She didn't say outer space. She always says interdimensional. They're from other dimensions. And then we always hear this description about, you know, like what Stephen Greer just said, right? These guys are all kind of humanoid, yeah? No ears. Oh, well, they are ears, but no pinna, yeah? Mouths are probably non-existent because they are it's all telepathy. Everything is by telepathic thought, right? They don't use their mouths to talk. Now, I'm kind of thinking, you know, this space-time warping thing, the warp bubble and all that we've been talking about, the portals and interdimensional and CERN and stuff. it could be a lot of things here, man. It could be space out there. It could be very definitely multiverses. Could be dimensional. It could be multidimensional. Blah blah blah. And it could even be time. It could be future us visiting us. Because if we take a look at young people today, when they go out together, even young people together going out for dinner, and they want to place orders and all that, they're probably not talking to each other, they're texting each other still.
Correct.
Eventually, the people don't want to talk anymore. And the next couple of 100,000 of years of evolution, we're all going to lose our mouse.
Yes.
And then, that's what I'm thinking. That's probably
like this is a handphone. In future, this will be embedded in our brain. So we don't actually have to communicate.
I wouldn't even be surprised if that's happening today.
Yeah,
right? And there's a reason, Bongs. I told you the reason why I wanted to put that one out. Right? It's because there are other things. There's something that's been said in the movie, The Age of Disclosure. Not just in the movie. Sorry, that one in Dan Farrer. He's the creator, the producer, the director for this movie. He went in this interview with on the Joe Rogan Experience. He mentioned about the majority of alien species that deal with us, that interact with us. It's actually this one particular group, and it's not the Greys. It's not the Greys. This funny part is, it's that it's compared to it's compared to the beings that Steven Spielberg created with Dr. Hynek as a film consultant. Don't forget who he was. He was the doctor involved in Project Blue Book.
Yeah.
In Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the movie that was in the 70s. And we have a picture of that alien. Can we put it up, please? So they're saying that this is the closest, quite exact description of a tall white, not this guy, not EB, okay, EB Caillou. This is the description of the alien species that we are interacting with.
Yeah,
and they call him the tall whites.
Yeah, imagine this happens. I mean, to most of the people currently, they don't believe in this topic. But should they appear one fine day in a mall, it's going to freak out everyone.
It's already happening in Miami long ago, remember?
Yeah, the Miami incident.
Yeah. And everyone, you should watch The Age of Disclosure if you can get your hands on it. Now, let me explain to you why. Because there are 34
high-ranking government officials.
34 former and current high-ranking U.S. officials, where the film anchors the central claims from, on the record testimony from these people. Yeah, it also asserts that there is a global Cold War race to reverse engineer UAP technology, calling it the atomic weapon on steroids. And it is so secret. It is more secret, and it's crazy. They described it as a Manhattan Project on steroids. But the Manhattan Project, if you watch the movie Oppenheimer, you know how crazy secretive it was.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you could get killed by your own people if you're just going to spill your guts just a little bit.
Correct. It's I think the formation of the two atomic bombs that stopped World War II. I mean, the Japanese aggression over Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Yeah.
So it just shows, even till today, people can keep secrets because they decompartmentalize all these developments, and you do not know what the left hand is doing and what the right hand is doing.
Yeah.
Which I think is happening now. In this documentary, Age of Disclosure, it's very interesting, like what Chris has mentioned. 34 senior officials. That means they are not crackpots. They are not people off the street. They are government people with reputations.
And amongst them is this guy named Dr. Gary Nolan, and he's very respected, by the way.
Yeah.
He said in the beginning of the movie, the new Age of Disclosure documentary, he said, there's another species on a planet with us that is not only intelligent, but is more intelligent than us. He is saying it. He said it. And Dan Farrer, said that that's the director for the movie, that a senior military official told him, we would not use our reverse engineered tech even if we were in a world war. Only until we found ourselves with our backs against the wall in a nuclear situation at the very last second would we bring it out. So that's how tight it is. And lastly, the former director of the Pentagon's UAP task force, Jay Stratton, in the documentary said the people behind the legacy program truly believe that the secret is so intense that they can't share it with the American people and the world. There may be aspects of this that are so intense they can't share it. However, I think the basic fact that we are not alone in the universe, we can share that with the American people. We can handle it at this point. Hopefully one day the American people will learn the bigger story and how it impacts us all. End quote. That's what Jay Stratton said. So if I were you, please catch the movie, The Age of Disclosure. We're going to end episode 2. Oh, hang on. Before that, Bong, I don't even know this. There is an app. You can download it on your Android or your iPhone. And I've done it. And it's called Enigma. Okay? The Enigma app is an app where you could, if you spot something in the sky, go to the app, allow use of your camera, take shots, take videos, and log it in. You will see across your own country or wherever you are is geo-mapped. You can see where the spots are. People have reported spotting something unusual in the sky. Okay, so download the app. You can see that it is. It's been featured in the Daily Mail, in USA Today, in the New Yorker. So it's been catching on, really. But hey, come on, Singapore, come on, Asia, do your bit. Download the app. Take shots in the sky. Take videos, man. Put it up there. We'll take a look at it too every now and then. When we see that any one of you guys, any one of our fans and subscribers have done this, and you put it into the app, we will spot it, or just let us know as well. You can reach us on YouTube. You can make comments and let us know, and we will find it and we will feature it in our next episode of UFO Reveal Asia. Okay, so download the Enigma app now. Thanks, Bong, for being here, man.
Anytime, man. It's a pleasure.
Oh, it's been a hell of a long show.
Yeah.
Okay, we now really need to take a shower because we hit the bottom of the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So it's been a week since we took a shower.
Yeah.
I need to take a leak too as well.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching this season 6 episode of Down the Rabbit Hole on UFO Reveal Asia. Come back again next week. Same time, same place, same channel. We are going to be having our season 6 finale with someone wonderful, someone who is considered the Tina Turner of Singapore, and that is Melissa Siddiq. Now, see you guys real soon, okay? Take care, everybody. And please, look the fuck up! Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, take care, man.
Here's a trailer for The Age of Disclosure.
The American people are ready to receive the truth.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human. I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
I worked on highly classified UAP programs.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the 4th Director of National Intelligence.
Director of Aviation Security in the National Security Council.
A one-star admiral after 32 years of service.
People that come forward with this, I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program that investigated unidentified aerial phenomenon. For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic. We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans. I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
So look at that thing. It's rotating. There's a whole fleet of them.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
This is so secret, very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis. But that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about a government that doesn't trust its people, because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
We should have disclosure today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
What else you want to know?
The Chris Hansen Conversation. Real talk, no filters. And a growing community of more than 100,000 subscribers across ASEAN. Right here from Singapore.